This is 101 Awakening. This is your birth certificate rights. This is part 4 of the stolen funds from you, your trust fund. So this post will make sense to you if you watch the part 1, 2, and 3 of the trust fund stolen from yourself. And now I will read to you the rest of the lawsuits that I originally opened in November to get our funds back. I will now read where I left off from part 3. And if there's any space, I will post this at the end of the video. It reads, any nullification within the federal and provincial laws that undermines the true legislation representing the citizens' misappropriation of funds under the control of the federal and provincial governing bodies must all be investigated, reported, made visible, broadcast, and announced truthfully and publicly for the awareness of the citizens of Canada. All assets and monies retracted, saved, or spent is within the scope of the said class action lawsuit. Retrieval of assets and monies will be divided amongst the valid and legal citizens of Canada. Assets under the name of its citizens shall remain the assets of that said legal entity, and any unpaid assets or loans of any entity shall be paid, cleared, waived, and recognized by the corporation as asset of the person representing the entity. If the investigation deems it necessary to eliminate governing bodies due to the nature of services not meeting the will to support the growth and the economy logically, or services that impedes the health of the country's economy and its people, must be eliminated with no cause. Federal, provincial, judicial laws must comply to all the investigation required to complete such assessment to the health of the corporation et al. Canada and its citizens. Prior bodies of the system, federal, provincial, and judicial laws are not exempt from the investigation of the retrieval of its funds and assets. If the investigation deems the profits made is not of dishonest and of ill will or ill fate, whether for personal or business, must be included in the seizure of assets and must be accounted for before, during, or after the employment of any governing bodies who acted on behalf of its citizens et al. Canada. The second class action lawsuit is for the governing bodies of the corporation et al. Canada for approving and allowing the subsidiaries of every industry that pays to the systems and corporations the approval for the intent to create, produce, and distribute untrue messages, whether it's misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation of untested, not proven, not effective, of harmful chemicals and byproducts, be it solid or liquid, that had been modified and affected the well-being of objects, whether it's inanimate, biological, physical, or other Earth's realm, with or without consciousness that relies on the healthiness of what Mother Earth was originally intended for, objects that had been harmed due to the negligence of the governing bodies, whether it's for internal or external consumptions, outside, inside the living spaces, is an act of negligence in the hands of the approver, the product makers, the creators, and the production, the distribution, the inflation of pricing, which cause physical, mental, emotional well-being from birth to death, that also contributed to their impoverishment of the citizen of et al. Canada, is within the scope of the secondary class action lawsuit. An example is the dye coloring on foods, which the FDA admitted to be harmful for human consumption. FDA is a governing body. It's just another example is Pfizer or Moderna for distributing unwanted, unproven, untested medications such as the COVID injections. Moderna and Pfizer is part of the medical industry. Another example is the loan industry for their creation of contractual document, the legalese, that are hard to understand, trapping and and forcing a client from its free will of understanding, thereby causing emotional, financial distress, are part of the industries. Food industry, medical industry, chemical industry, transportation industry, media industry, entertainment industry, insurance industry, banking industry, and so much more are part of the industries that colluded and partnered with the corporation and its operating bodies to profit at the expense of human health. The list of the industries will need to be investigated to protect the well-being, the funds and assets of the Canadian citizens. Now remember, I wrote this in November, and I wrote down in here, Justin Trudeau stepping down is a cover-up in order for Mr. Mark Carney to run for Prime Minister of Canada, a deception of his true intent. Mr. Mark Carney has been appointed by the Crown as the executor to liquidate and probate the estate of the corporation et al. Canada, thereby allowing the United States President Donald Trump to legally and lawfully to take on Canada as its 51st state. This is all happening within the 90 days ending March 2025. I would like to have this class action lawsuit in place before that can happen. Any question, please contact me. Now, what I just described you on part 3 and part 4 is actually what Donald Trump is doing for America right now. Donald Trump, with the help of the Doge team, identified all the redundancy of the corporation's assets and subsidiaries. The Democrats are actually mad with Donald Trump because he's removing all the redundancy in every industries that belong to the corporation of America. Everything that I described to you of what my goal is, he is actually doing them for America and its people. He's uniting all countries, and for those who are still working to continue their corruptions will not be tolerated at all. It will be destroyed. He's not only doing it for America, he's doing it for the world. That includes Canada. And that's how you are receiving the money back. He's gonna collapse the government. He's gonna collapse all the funding illegal activities. He's gonna find all those traffickers. He's gonna find all those child molesters. He's going to prosecute all the bad actors of the industries. And if you unknowingly supported this industry, you might be spared. Remember what I said, it's based on your energy and your frequency. Because Donald Trump has a system that can actually read your frequency if you're lying or not. And for you to get your money back from God, your frequency must also be high. Because the new financial system that's going live, you will only get your money if your frequency is high. If it's low, then I guess you stay in the 3D world. If it's high, then you pass, then you go to the 5D world. Remember, 3D world is a slavery of souls, while 5D world is a freedom for your soul. So yes, Donald Trump has been working for this for over 10 years. He's been a mole in the systems. They tried to prosecute him, but it didn't work. Because God is watching him. God is watching us all, the speaker of truth. So I hope you are watching my video post and learning how to awaken your soul. Welcome to 5D of freedom. Because tomorrow you will now manage your own financial wealth. How you spend it, it's up to you. Spend it wisely. God will continue to watch you. Happy awakening, everyone.